Hello folks, Basic Ollie here, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of This Week in iRacing, and welcome to a brand new series in iRacing, the DTM series. Now, this is not like any other series on iRacing. iRacing are now working closely with DTM to try and essentially copy the DTM series. So this series is GT3 cars that follow the DTM calendar, and I know what you're probably thinking if you haven't heard of this before. What's the difference between DTM and GT3, and why have iRacing added it? Is it any different to the GT Sprint stuff? And the short answer is yes, it is different. Yes, it is GT3s, but it does follow the DTM calendar, which is pretty cool. These are 55-minute sprint races. But what's pretty cool about these races is that they are a dedicated time. They're normally a day or two before the actual real-life event. And with these 55-minute races, it's not just a case of you get a full tank, you have a limited tank size. For example, if you're in the BMW, instead of having 100 litres for a full tank, you've actually got 65 litres maximum you can start with. So all cars will have their full tanks reduced, like they do in GT Sprint, except I think GT Sprint's normally like half. This time it's just a little bit more. I'd say BMW-wise, it looks like about 65%, so I assume that's the same for everybody else. But yeah, this is a very cool series. Like I said, it follows the DTM calendar in real life. There are 8 rounds. For me, personally, where I live in the UK, it seems to be the races are on a Thursday. There will be some time slots that you can see in the UI, and I'll quickly show you them here. So just go to the UI here, click on the schedule, and then if you click on this thing here, it'll tell you when the time slots are for you. So for me, the 23rd of April, going into 24th, going into about 1 a.m., 4 a.m. But yeah, really unique series. It's very cool, follows the DTM schedule. I hope it's going to be popular. Things you need to know about this is it's round 1. It's at the Red Bull Ring. There's no chance of rain. In-game start times around 2 p.m. or very close to it. And because it's overcast, even though there's no chance of rain, the track temperature is very, very low. I'm very eager to see how well this series does and how well it's received. Hopefully it does well. My only fear is that it's another GT3 series, and we're very heavy on GT3 cars already in iRacing. But who knows? Fingers crossed it's positive. If you're going to take part in it this weekend, or this week, I should say, let me know, and also let me know what you think of this. I think it's pretty cool. My only fear, like I said, is the fact it's another GT3 series, so I don't know. But yeah, fingers crossed it does well, and hopefully you enjoy it. All right, next up, whilst we're talking about GT3s, I think it's important that we talk about the GT3 series. I think it flows quite nicely. So let's talk about the Sprint, the Fixed, and the GT3 Endurance series. So we're going to go to Fuji this week. This is the Grand Prix layout of the track, and yeah, starts 12 p.m. in-game time. There's no chance of rain. Fuji, as much as people like to moan about it, even I like to moan about it because I hate the last sector, very much like Marmite. Some people love it, some people hate it, but regardless, participation-wise, it is pretty good. No chance of rain between any of the 3 series, so I think it's going to do pretty well. Track temperature is high though, so that's just a warning. Anything between low to mid 40 degrees Celsius, which is very toasty indeed. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. My biggest fear when it comes to GT3 stuff at the moment, anything that has kind of like medium to high speed corners, very much like Fuji. I think there's, I think one of the corners is called 130R, the long right-hander. Yeah, I feel like unless you're in like an Aston Martin or something like that, you're gonna get cooked. So I don't know yet. The information isn't out. I haven't got anything in terms of what fastest car here is right now, but it's hard to see past anything but the Aston Martin, the Merc, or the Mustang. So we shall see. But GT3 is going to Fuji this week. Fingers crossed it will do well. Participation-wise, I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, let's move on to the multi-class stuff, shall we? So let's talk about IMSA Open, Fixed, and the 6 Hour, because it's not the IMSA Endurance this week, it is the Global Endurance Tour. Now, all of those series are heading to Imola this week, which I think is actually a very smart play by iRacing, considering we've literally just had WEC at Imola this weekend just gone. So I think this is actually a really good play by iRacing to have Imola on IMSA this week. Now, important thing to note about this week is there is a 27% chance of rain in the Open. The Fixed and the Endurance don't have a chance of rain at all. In-game start times at 8:10 in the morning, so track temperature is nice and low. Now, will the sun break out during the 6 hour? I'm not so sure, but I tend to find that with iRacing, if it starts overcast or cloudy or whatnot in the morning, it doesn't tend to then get like kind of hot or sunnier later on. It kind of just stays like that. So I imagine for the 6 hour, the track temperature is going to stay relatively low, but I could be wrong. So we'll see. But yeah, there you go. I think that's all the information you need. I really don't know how well this might go down. It could be very popular because WEC has just been there, so it makes sense for iRacing to kind of copy it at the moment. But at the same time, as soon as you just add a smudge chance of rain, it really does affect the participation at the moment on iRacing. And I wish it was something that could kind of we could get past. But at the moment, it very much feels like as soon as there's a chance of rain, the participation levels do drop. But regardless, I was never a massive fan of IMSA. I've started to come around a little bit. I'm starting to like it a little bit more. But yeah, don't know how this is going to compete. Fingers crossed it does well. Let's see. Okay, next up, let's talk about the GTE series, because at the moment, this series is cooking. The calendar is sensational. It's such a good calendar for the GTE series. The community that vote for this calendar, fair play, because it's so good. It is so good. I would love an IMSA schedule like this. It is fantastic. It really is. So anyways, GTEs this week, we're going to Spa. Last week you had Daytona, this week going to Spa. And to be honest with you, the whole season has had a really good mix of tracks. And I think if you're going to get into GTEs, this is the season to do it. You know, they've just had an update, a major update. They feel completely different. They've got rain tyres now. They're really fun to drive. I would definitely recommend you give the GTEs a go. It's not just about the popular tracks as well. It's really got a mix of tracks, and it's fantastic, this schedule. So go check it out if you haven't on the UI already, and you'll see what I mean. It's not just the popular tracks. There's a real mix in there, and I think it's just such a good series at the moment. But yeah, go to Spa. No chance of rain this one. It's the Grand Prix layout for this week, boys and girls. Its in-game start time is in the morning. Oh, no, sorry, it's not in the morning. It's at 7 p.m. So kind of sunset vibes. And yeah, because of that, the track temperature is nice and low, around 21 degrees Celsius, around that kind of area. So yeah, like I said, really superb calendar. Great cars. I've really started to enjoy them. Give it a chance if you can. And yeah, let me know how you get on, because it's something a little bit different from the typical GT3, you know, IMSA GT4 kind of stuff. And yeah, it's really good fun. So if you can, give this series a go. It's great fun. Now, just a quick one, because I don't want this video to be too long with too much information in it, but I think it's really important to quickly include the NEC round this week. So there's Nurburgring Endurance Championship. This week, we do have the 4-hour series. It does return. But something that's really important to note is that the GT Sprint series is not going to the Nurburgring 24 for the Nurburgring 24-hour on May 1st to 3rd. So there's not a sprint race to really practice. I believe this is going to be your last chance to do a race and practice this combo. Yes, the track layout is slightly different because it's the NEC layout and not the Nurburgring 24-hour, but regardless, it's very good practice for the event. What you're going to need to know about this weekend is that there is a chance of rain, but the most important thing is that it is going to start wet. So even if the rain does put you off, I think it is kind of crucial, vital, whatever you want to call it, to give yourself a chance to do this race for the last bit of practice before the Nurburgring 24-hour in the start of May. Now, of course, I know there's going to be an official page. You can do the official practice sessions, of course you can, but there's nothing quite like doing an actual race that kind of mimics that anyway. So I think this is a very good opportunity for you watching to do this event this weekend and get as much experience as you can. Yes, I know it's going to be wet at the start, and I know there's a 29% chance of rain, so it could even rain during the race, but I think it's just one of those things. I think if you can, do it, because it could be absolutely crucial. And we don't know what the weather's going to be like for the 24-hour, and if it does end up raining, you'll be very happy for the fact that you've actually gone and done this race in practice. So I'm just going to show you right now. So look, here it is. So here's the page for the event itself, and as you can see, 29% chance of rain. Now, if you go to clouds and precipitation, even though it's 29% during the race, look, 84% chance of rain before the start of the race, so about 3-4 hours before you start of the race. So the track is going to be wet, as you saw on your screens there. So yes, make sure that if you can, please do it. Of course, you don't have to. You're perfectly fine if you don't. You can always do the official practice sessions, but yeah, just do be warned. It's going to rain beforehand, but try not let that put you off, because I think it will be absolutely crucial in learning how to race around this track with multi-class traffic. Yeah, if you've never done it before. Anyways, right. That's enough of me talking about this series. Let's go and have a broader look about what is available this week on iRacing. Okay, let's start off by covering some of the sports car stuff, shall we? So, we'll start off with the Ringmeister. Now, the Ringmeister is one of my favourite series out there for a bit of fun. This week, we're going to have the Kia Optima for this week. Let's talk about the Radicals, shall we? The Radicals, they are going to go to Brands Hatch. That is the Grand Prix layout. IMSA Vintage, where are you off to this week? You're going to Circuit of the Americas. Yikes. Yikes. The 296 Challenge, where are you off to? You're off to Snetterton. It's the 300 layout as well. The Advanced Mazdas, where are you off to this week? You're going to go to Watkins Glen, and that is the Classic Boot layout. Okay. Production Car Challenge, where are you going to go to? You're going to go to the Nurburgring Combined, which is a 24-hour layout. So that could be, I mean, it could be good practice if you're in the M2. If you're going to do the Nurburgring 24-hour and you're in the M2, it could be good practice. Although I don't feel like the races are long enough at all for any of the classes. I mean, I was going to say not to meet, but some of the pace-wise, some of the classes are so close, you probably will end up mixing with other classes anyway. So, right. So, Global Sports Car Challenge, you're going to go to the Bend, and that is the international circuit for this week. Focus Sports Car Challenge, what the GT4s and LMP3s doing this week. Nurburgring Combined. Like, if you have not driven the LMP3 at the Nurburgring, I beg you go and do it, because I'm telling you, it is, for some reason, even though the LMP3 does not like the big curbs, it is so much fun. It's like got the perfect amount of power and downforce. It is so good. It really is. It really is so good. The biggest problem, though, is the fact that it is the Nurburgring 24-hour layout, and 30-minute races, you'll never catch a GT4. So it kind of just does turn into a sprint race with your class, but regardless, it's a lot of fun. Like, it is properly good fun. This is a very good week so far. Very good. TCR's also going to the Nurburgring Combined, the 24-hour layout. So good practice. Really good practice. I think this might be the week, the perfect week to get your practice in before the Nurburgring 24-hour in just a few weeks. Let's have a look. The Porsche Cup, that's going to go to the Red Bull Ring this week. Let's have a quick look at the regional tours. Asia, that's going to Tsukuba. Dear. I feel like anything Tsukuba wise, if it's anything faster than like an FF1600, it's a bit of a meme. Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Americas tour. What else we got here? What apart from the Americas? What about the European tour? What we got here? That one. That one. Yeah. Dear, I'm going to get cooked in the comments for still not learning how to say that. No sports car endurance this week, which is a real shame. Because again, if there was a 2-hour version, the LMP3s would more than likely, have a chance to lap the GT4. So that could be fun. The GT4s and TCRs, the Endurance Series, is heading to the Nurburgring Combined. So again, a really good opportunity if you are going to go in a GT4 or TCR to practice for the Nurburgring 24-hour this week. I have to say, so far, I think this is a really underrated week. I know when you look at like GT Sprint, Fuji, and an IMSA Imola, like for me, at first glance, it doesn't seem that great, but everything else is just really good so far, I have to say. Yeah, iRacing kind of cooking this week. I really do think this is one of the better ones this season. Let's talk about the let's talk about the open formula stuff. F3's going to the Nürburgring, but it's the Grand Prix layout this week. Super Formula Lights, where you're going to go to? You're going to go to Algarve this week. Algarve, okay. The F4s, the Asia Tour, you're going to go to Mount Panorama, very cool. European Tour, you're going to go to Mugello. Let's have a look at the Americas. You're going to go to St. Petersburg. And what about the fixed? You are going to go to Zolder this week. Now, I am getting cooked in the comments as well because I simply do not cover the Super Formulas, because I just normally do the Super Formula Lights. So for you Super Formula fans out there, this week you've got Jerez for this one. It's the MotoGP layout. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to favourite that series, so I'll basically cover it on all the episodes. So that kind of makes you a little bit more happier. And you know what? I will favourite this as well, because I know there's quite a few people that do this as well. So for the Formula A series, you are going to go to Interlagos this week. Now, let's have a look at the IndyCar stuff, shall we? So, NXT series, you're going to go to Nurburgring GP circuit. And then the IndyCar Oval Series, where are you going to this week? You are going to go to Kentucky. Right, now, last but not least, let's have a look at the Oval stuff. Where are you going this week? O'Reilly's Talladega Super Speedway. Nice, nice, nice. The trucks, where are you off to? Pocono Raceway, I think. I probably pronounced that wrong. What about the next gens? Talladega as well, okay. And I assume that's going to be the same for NIS as well. It is. So, yeah, I think that'll be a popular week for the NASCAR stuff. Talladega is normally pretty popular, I think. So, yeah. Overall, I think at first glance, you might think, maybe it's another average week. But I have to say, everything else is pretty damn mega. I've got to say, it's very, very good. I didn't actually quickly check Proto GT. Nürburgring combined as well. That will be mega. That will be mega. So, I mean, it's a very good week. It's very easy. Even I do it. You can look at IMSA and GT3 and go, oh, you know, maybe it's not that good of a week. But look past that. The GTEs were going to be mega. Some of the LMP3s and GT4 stuff's going to be mega. There's just some really, really good stuff. New DTM series, Nurburgring Endurance Championship this weekend. There's a 6-hour. It's a very good week. It's a very, very good week indeed. So I hope you boys and girls are going to enjoy it. And as always, if you've enjoyed this episode of This Week in iRacing, give it the old thumbs up, subscribe on the way out, and I'll catch you for next week's episode. Take care. Have a good one. Ta-da.